Silent. Look, how dare you give an advice to me who is many years senior? Lust. It is, although it is not need to be explained at length, we all know it is an attraction towards the color and the contours of the body flesh. Anger and hate also have their roots in this body consciousness. One becomes angry when he looks upon others as not his own. Try to relate with yourself and see, are we not the body consciousness in our real life? Man realizes that in truth he is an eternal being, a soul, a being of light. Let us note this secret and sacred truth that our relationship with God is the most important thing. Namaste and hello everyone. This is P.K. Sagar here again with you all to discuss on the body consciousness, the root of all evils, day 4. Some people ask, what difference does it make if we do not practice soul consciousness or yoga? To understand the answer to this, let us see how body consciousness gives rise to the 5 main evils and how it causes man's sorrow and sufferings. Suppose a small boy genuinely feels that he has some good suggestions to offer. He says to one of his uncles,
Uncle, please, will you kindly listen to me for a minute?
The uncle, instead of giving a patient hearing, said,
Silent. Look, how dare you give an advice to me who is many years senior, whereas you have not yet had even any wisdom teeth at you?
Truth to be said, that boy is no one but myself. I am sharing my own experience because I was in that situation. But this is not limited to this. You can see it more in corporate sectors, private sectors, and all these things are happening due to the body consciousness. This small example is enough to illustrate how more severe form of pride can cause severe cracks in the relationships between families and also occurring in national level, which is leading to war. Giving another example, if a boy meets accident, suddenly a mother feels so shocked at the death of her son that she feels that she needs to consult a psychiatrist to bring her back to the normal state. She is so much disturbed that she constantly cries, oh my son, for months and months, though she knows well that her dead son is not going to come back to life. Similarly, it is the attachment in the other spheres of life. It is the attachment that is responsible for nepotism, favoritism, narrow nationalism, and all. Lust. It is, although it is not need to be explained at length, we all know it is an attraction towards the color and the contours of the body flesh. When one is conscious of himself in terms of being male or female or young, then only one is invaded by this carnal desire. Anger and hate also have their roots in this body consciousness. One becomes angry when he looks upon others as not his own. Racial discrimination, casteism, etc. are also based on this body consciousness. Similarly, greed also is hinged on this body consciousness. Take the case of a man who is amassing great wealth so as to leave behind him a great fortune for his son. He exploits others for the sake of his son. He does not care even if other people's sons die of starvation, but he wants to hoard and hoard for his own sons. Obviously, it is cruel to others, and he does not have any tender feelings to those who are starving because of this attachment to one who is related to him physically and his son. So, soul conscious or yoga based on it is necessary for purity and peace. Try to relate with yourself and see, are we not the body consciousness in our real life? Check yourself. It is good to suggest to the people that they make sincere efforts to bring transformation in the self, to improve the relationship with others, and to do service to others. If they make commitment for this and implement an action plan of the choice in this direction, it will definitely be a step forward towards a better world. But while this strategy for bringing about a better world has its validity, and effectiveness. Let us not forget that the major breakthrough in man's efforts for self-change comes when he knows his real identity. Who am I? The present world crisis, which is generally known as the crisis of values, is in fact a deep crisis of self-identity. The whole tragic situation around us is due to this loss of identity. While man has discovered many lost continents in the globe, but the inner continent, the self, has not yet been discovered. That's why a man has first need to be aware of the truth that he has a certain potential of divine qualities or a core of human values, and that these qualities or values within him have gone deep down in the sea of this subconscious mind, and it's need to be brought again to the surface into the light and have to be used as the keyboard for actions. Man has also to be given a realization of the truth that with the cremation or burial of the dead body, man's all deeds, good or bad, done by him during his lifetime, or his abilities or qualities acquired by him over a period of time, are not at all lost. Neither do the man's good actions go unrewarded, nor do his bad actions go unpunished. Though man's body dies, the souls live on forever and takes another and another incarnation until it attains its final liberation and retires for a period of time to plunge into the happy activities again, promoted by its own will. Unless and until a man realizes that in truth he is an eternal being, a soul, a being of light, and that so are other beings, his outlook and his attitude towards all others does not undergo a total change. When he realizes his real identity, he takes a new mental birth from here. His lifestyle and his mode of thinking and action undergoes a left about turn. Poor man now thinks that he is not made of dust, nor he is an animal, but in his own true nature he is a being of light, pure, peaceful, and upright originally. This realization brings an attitudinal change in him, and he now feels that he is not to give up his social life, but only to be his real self, so as to lead a life of peace. When man thus knows his real identity, then an improvement in himself in his relationship with others takes place automatically and naturally when, like as the day follows the night. In that new state of awakening of the consciousness, he naturally thinks of being good and doing good. He has then a natural and constant inclination to do service for others. So we may adopt whatever strategy we think is suitable for a group of people. But let us keep in mind that sooner or later we have to give to all those who come in touch with us the knowledge of the real identity of self. For without this knowledge, there is no going nearer to our goal. When we have given the knowledge of real identity of the self, only then we can facilitate a love link between the self and the Supreme Soul. Without this mental and emotional link with the Creator, it will be very difficult. It will be nearly impossible for a person to sustain the self and divine qualities for long. Let us note this secret and sacred truth that our relationship with God is the most important thing. If to us the relationship doesn't matter, then nothing really matters. That in truth, it ought to be the first relationship from which all other relationships should receive. The substance, which we call it whatever you may, of love, it is divinity and unity. If one cannot maintain a faithful and loving relationship with the God, takes it for granted, then He cannot really maintain a worthwhile or worthy relationship with anyone. One has so many relationships in the corporeal world, then what is difficulty in or having any objection of having a relationship with the God? If one says that he does not believe in God and does not know Him, and that he only knows about the morality, goodness and kindness, let him understand that God is the very embodiment of this. If he believed in goodness, kindness, and morality, he already believed in God, even though indirectly. Let him realize that qualities always exist in some person or entity. They do not have an existence independent or separate from this. So, goodness, kindness, and morality also rest in someone at their peak point, and that someone is called the God, generator, operator, and destroyer, our own Supreme Father, Soul's Supreme Father. These qualities are the characteristics of a consigned person. So, God is a consigned person, though he is incorporeal being or light. As such, we do have some relationship with him as we have relationship with the others. In fact, all morality has its sanction from the God. If one removes God from his consciousness, his moral sense doesn't rest on any ground and firm foundation. God is the fountainhead of virtues and high values. We, therefore, in our own interest, ought to know Him and have very loving relationship with Him. That's why the knowledge of the identity of the self and of God will enable man to rid himself of the present crisis. So that's it for today. If you have anything to ask or want to know about, let me know by writing in the comment section. I will try to answer all of those, and if possible, I will try to make video on those topics also. Thank you.